Next Top Nail Artist Challenge 2, CND Couture. For this week's challenge, we were asked to create a haute couture runway look, and I chose the designer Schiaparelli. So let's recreate this golden look. Now, I absolutely love fashion, and I definitely love to push fashion to the edge. So when I was looking to create my look, I went with one of the most extreme that I could find. So I started with a mask using plexi gel, put that over the face and popped it off. And then I went in to build the mask up a little bit more with CND's acrylic and went over it with shellac. After that, I added some of CND's additives, their gold pigment, just to give it the more authentic look, and went in after that with some black shellac just to give it a little bit more depth. I really wanted to do this designer as much justice as I could and keep the look as authentic as I could, being that it is so extreme. So the mask has whites in the eyes, and I also wanted to add a little bit extra flare. So inside the eyes, I drilled holes and then added some CND plexi gel and put a couple Swarovski crystals in there. In this week's assignment, we were asked to incorporate elements of beading, embroidery, or stitching. So I personally focused more on the beading, but I also tried to incorporate the stitching. Next, I used the same doll, her bust, for a mold for the bust, as in the look. I went over it with plexi gel, and after I popped it into the lamp and cured it, I just went ahead and popped it right off her body. And I cleaned it up a bit with CND's Blizzard. Next, I wanted to keep the look authentic, so I added a little bit more chest to the bust piece with CND's acrylic and their retention. I love their monomer, it's amazing. After my 3D acrylic dried, I went ahead and went over it with some more shellac and that same gold pigment. I feel like adding dimension is so important in any piece of artwork. It just makes it come alive and gives it a little bit more depth and just makes the look more aesthetic. Now to tie the bust in with the mask, I went ahead and added a couple crystals right on the little tatas to give it a little embellishment to tie everything together. Now comes the fun part, is making my own beads. I went ahead and bought some silly putty and rolled it up into a tiny ball, grabbed a little bobby pin and stuck the bobby pin into the ball. Then I got my plexi gel, laid it on my palette, and rolled the ball halfway around into the plexi gel and let it self-level before I popped it into the lamp for a cure. Now once I pulled it out of the lamp, I fished it out with the same bobby pin, and it just created a nice little hollow bead effect. So I went ahead and made tons of these guys. As you can see, it took quite some time, but it was worth it. Then I ran them across a Blizzard file to kind of give them more of a flat back. And then for each individual one, I dipped them all into the same gold pigment chrome powder, just so everything in this look tied together. Alright, we've got our statement pieces, and let's get started on all of the accent nails. For the head, I wanted to add a little extra pizzazz and make it spin. So I had this little jewel, I popped it into the back of the head and cured it in the lamp with the plexi gel. And then I went ahead and added all of my individual beads to my accent nail. I have never done any type of work like this before, so it's super fun pushing myself and challenging myself to do things that are more creative and out of the box. And look, the head spins. Yay! It looks so cute. Super happy with it. I went ahead and added a black background before we drilled holes to add the chain. And then we attached the bust to the other nail. All the other accent nails, we went ahead and did the same gold chrome powder, and I added some stitching, and then this is how they came out. I'm so happy with them, really proud of them. I worked really hard and put a lot of effort into them, so I really hope you guys like this look, and I hope I did this designer some justice. I just added the chain accents with plexi gel, and everything else I just drilled tiny holes in there and just connected it all up with little needle nose pliers. Just showing here that the head does spin, and I'm completely happy with how I did in this challenge, and I hope you guys really like the final result as well. Work it, baby, haute couture. Paris fashion run with. Yes, baby, work it.